Alright, we're gonna get down to getting these skills and powers. I'm gonna be buying some, which through the Adventurer Collective. So to get to the Adventure Collective, we have to do a quest in Tridmore. It's called The Man in the Leather Hat. So what I need to do is find Tridmore because I don't know where it is. Linus, northeast. It's probably in Easton. Pack, so I can sell stuff. Oh, these. Here we go. Tridmore. While traveling through Southeast Asia on your way to Tridmore, you encounter a bag of rugged highwaymen. There's something vaguely unsettling about the bold demeanor of the band of 5 highwaymen that have ridden you in your path. What is an obvious attempt to waylay you? The leader of the rugged group moves in front of the company and regards you with a solemn nod. He probably orders you to pay him tribute in the amount of 50 gold so that you may afford a safe passage to the region. It's our blades and our backs that keep you safe in these parts, he said. He studied you closely. Suddenly your eyes are drawn to the man's leather waistcoat. 3 diagonal marks have been scratched out onto the breast of the wall and the mount. The mistaken symbol of Han Longaxe. Who's Han Longaxe? One of the most feared brigands to roam the wilds of North Islands of the last decades, notoriously cruel outlaw. In recent years, owing to his wanted status, Han has taken hide in the remote, wilder portions of the kingdom. What is believed to be serious hidden bases in the brazen highwaymen continue to lead a growing collective of bandits that prey upon travelers in corners of the realm. It is rumored that Han is for some reason obsessed with finding the sword of Merzik. Okay, nah. Do you recognize the mark of Han Longaxe? You would show great wisdom and pay us what you rolled. Nah. We under attack. No, you're dead. Oh. You're alright. That's it. There's 4 now. Only the leader now. He ran. After fleeing, the brigand appears to disappear from view. You conclude that you will have to be content to let him go. Despite his escape, you may comfort in knowing that this particular band of thieves will no longer plague this region. Okay. I mean, we'll take it to sell. Hide helm. Alright. No sign of any more highwaymen in the immediate vicinity. You spend a few moments checking over your equipment before once again resuming your journey. Okay. So adventures. Yes, this adventure is what I want. Somehow you feel this isn't the first time you've seen this particular stranger. Let's embark. And so begins the man in the leather hat. While passing along a crowded thoroughfare, you suddenly startled by a swift tapping as shown. Checking about, you come face to face with a tall, lanky man garbed in a green tunic and leather breeches. A thin grey cloak hides under much of his torso, and the shadow cast by his wide-brimmed leather hat almost entirely obscures his face. Your heart skips a beat when you realise that this is not the first time you've laid eyes upon this person. Before you are able to address this mysterious stranger, he takes hold of you with an amazing display of might, forces you into a nearby alley where he promptly throws you to the ground. The stranger, who has not uttered a single word, stands over you in the alley, his hand resting on the hilt of a short sword that hangs at his side. He patiently taps the pommel of his sword as awaiting you to attempt to regain your feet. Sure. Only too willing to engage the stranger, you sprint to your feet and launch a fierce attack. Bravado and rage quickly give way to desperation and dismay, however, as the hatted man fends off your assault with minimal effort and counters a series of devastating strike. Despite the ferocity of his attacks, it becomes apparent he's not trying to kill you. Alright. We did. I'm defeated. You strike the ground hard, driving the wind from your lungs upon impact. Gasping for breath, you attempt to regain your feet, but the stranger places his right foot in your chest, keeping you pinned in a vulnerable position. He reaches into his tunic and produces a small scrap of parchment, which he hurls down at you. Then, after taking a few moments to adjust his attire, takes his foot off your chest, turns and strides swiftly out of the alley. Winded and battered, but not permanently harmed, you raise to a sitting position and examine the small piece of parchment left by the stranger. It appears to be short notice. One side of the note reads as follows: Doom's Hall. The other side of the note bears a crudely sketched R. Not sure why the stranger left you the note or what Doom's Hall of the R might mean. You painfully regain your feet and make your way out of the alley. Oh, that's it. Okay, so I think what happens is we go back western to Sryth. We visit Sryth. We go to explore the city, and we go to the square where we go to the buildings where we find Doom's Hall. In the interior of the alehouse known as Doom's Hall, a great state of despair. As you step inside, an old man looks up and nods at you before swiftly returning his to the steaming mug in front of him. As you approach the table, I almost made me some paler. The old monk looks up at you and nods. You introduce yourself and produce for him the note the stranger in the hearth had left with you in Tridmore. He takes the note. He looks the note over and smiles. The green door, he said, handing the note back to you. Then, without another word, he again turns his attention to the steaming mug of paleo on the table for him. He asks him what he means by the green door, but he doesn't respond. Now, when you ever get the bottom of it, to begin with a chance encounter Tridmore, you turn to make your way out of the alehouse. You basically get a small one in this building with the green door. You move up the green door and rap on it loudly. Seconds later, the sound of a series of latches get undone can be heard on the other side. When the final latch has been unfastened, the door swings slowly inward, revealing a small dim interior lit by the flickering light of a fire. The door promptly closes behind you, and a bent, hooded figure quickly sets about refastening the many latches that hold it fast. All appearances indicate the place you've stepped into is a tavern. A long wooden bar runs the length of the far side of the room, while on the wall on your right is a fireplace which currently hosts a roaring fire. The flames cast a flickering glow off the many weapons and unusual objects that adorn the wall in the small, somewhat cramped space. The bent hooded figure that let you in shuffles over and takes up a position behind the polished bar, immediately straightening itself up and throwing back the hood that covers its head to reveal the face of a young woman. A black patch covers her right eye. It's been a while since anyone worthy knocked at the door, she smiles. Welcome to the last known standing, fully operational guild hall of the Adventurers Collective. Allison, we've been expecting you to drop by for quite some time. The young woman introduces herself as Vuri and tells you that she serves as a barkeep for the guild hall. You learn that she once herself was an adventurer, but the particularly nasty runner of the band of forest trolls brought her days in the bold profession to a premature end. The Guildmaster has kind enough to take me on here, though I'd give anything the days of high adventure again. Vuri tells you that the Guildmaster is currently in, and you're the first person to wander in here for quite some time. I'm sure he would be happy to see you. Okay, Guildmaster is powerful as he is enigmatic. His age and origin are unknown. He resides in the days of the Adventure Guild Hall. Adventurers Collective, a once proud Adventure Collective, is known little more than dim memory to boast, so it's a reminder of the days long past, an age when brave adventurers banded together to brave the perils of the world. Though still around the collective now exists as a faint shadow, it's formed itself a very secret society comprised of very select and dwindling membership. For the true adventurer, membership in the collective still offers most of what it once did. The collective still maintains a small number of guild halls in various places, though nowadays their locations are well guarded secrets. Okay, sure, let's see him. This is the guild hall of the Adventurer Collective. A roaring fire illuminates the cramped, musty interior, casting its flickering light off the many weapons and other strange objects that adorn the walls. Several tables and their accompaniments of chairs sit before the fire. Toward the back of the room leads to the Guildmaster's chamber, and a long polished bar that runs the length of the far wall is tended by one-eyed young woman named Vuri. She looks up at you and smiles. Apart from the two of you, the whole common room is empty. Well, let's visit the Guildmaster. The Guildmaster of the Adventure Collective is a tall, shadowy, imposing figure. A dark hood covers his head, shadowing his face, and a long sword dangles from the right side of his belt, and on the left hangs a small hand axe. He rises from behind the wooden table where he's been studying an open leather-bound tome and greets you in a curt nod. "How is it I can help thee?" he says in a low voice. "Allison?" "Seek training." There's this one matter that must be attended to first, said the guild. Of course, to become a full pledged member of the Adventurers Guild, there's 8 Adventurers tokens and 10,000 gold. I presume, of course, that the Adventurer of your status not without a sufficient amount of such currencies. Yep. I've got plenty of that. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild, he said, stepping forward to meet you in the shoulder grass. You are, I must say, an addition to our illustrious ranks. So now what you join me? Perfect. Okay. So, we can learn magic. Well, first of all, I want divination. Guildmaster nods and tells you that he will make the necessary arrangements for your request meeting with the Master Mage. You understand, of course, that the whereabouts or even the existence of the Master Adventurer of this guild remain closely guarded, and I trust you won't take offense at any precautions it takes to ensure their sanctity. We acknowledge what he said. Your eyelids have begun to droop and your vision blurs. The last thing you see before everything visible like a three-clad figure striding up from behind the Guildmaster. You wake up and start to discover that your surroundings have changed. With no inkling of how long you've been unconscious, you stagger to your feet and glance around the tapestry draped walls of the lavish sitting room, which you find yourself an old man with a bald tattooed head sitting cross-legged against the far wall, floats on his feet and strides across the room to greet you. Have a nice rest, have you? He smiles. I can't say I approve of the means by which most visitors brought here, yet I understand the need of secrecy well enough. How may I help thee, Ellison? This is like a mastery in full Neverall's disciplines. Based on the array of magical you're able to instruct you base roll 4. Okay. Restoration, first of all. 500 gold, no problem. The master accepts your payment and nods grimly, signaling a grueling series of trials to teach you the elementary concept that he master art and is about to commence. After several days, and instructors and trainees succeed to learn the basics of the power of restoration. Okay, yes, I want divination for sure. I mean, since we're here, we might as well take them all. Right. Okay. Yeah, so training, diplomacy, archery, woodsmanship, I got law. We can get law. Oh yeah, we want weaponry. Slashing for sure. It's gonna cost more money every time. And then slashing, hacking. I mean, we might as well get hacking. And stabbing. The rest we'll figure out. I mean, just do them all. I have gold to spare. Okay. We beat you fairly well. Okay. All the weaponries. I got woodsmanship and archery. I can get seamanship somewhere else. I have diplomacy. Right? I have diplomacy, yeah. Okay, we have all the weaponry. I have arcana. I have 3 I don't have horsemanship. I can get that somewhere else. Seamanship I can get somewhere else. I have woodsmanship and archery. Lore I can get somewhere else. I would like gating. And the rest I'll get from somewhere else. Let's leave. Move to the city gates. So now we got some more stuff to train in. Now we can go here. I can get my stored powers. Yep, so now all we need is horsemanship, law, seamanship, trollbart, lances, telekinesis, elementalism, destruction illusion, and shadow magic. Okay, so we're gonna exit here, and then we're gonna train. Starting with skills. Definitely want to do slashing first. Because slashing is one of my favorite kind of weapons, I think. Close. One more. Thank you. Skills for stabbing. Sure. Neymar is so high now. I'm gonna get a better weapon before this episode's over. Better everything. Armor, weapons. That's gonna make this whole thing 20. Okay. Skills. Polearms. Right, do hacking. I didn't like doing that monastery one without gating, and frankly without shadow magic too, but I wanted to get weaponry. Okay, more. Skills. Give me this. Use polearms and staves. Let's start with staves. You hear me clicking, I know. It's a mouse only game and reading. Okay, one more. Let's see, skills. This one. Skills. End up here with polearms. And then we can train with magic. Restoration I need the most because I felt like I could save Brother Hollith if I had restoration. But necromancy is the hardest one to get, I think, so it's like shadow magic. I want it to have that. Let's go to powers now. Train some conjuration. I like how this is purple. I did not having divination. check. Is this going down at all? But it doesn't seem like it is. One. As I get to about 75. Oh, right, 50. Weird 60. Weird 70. Alright, 75. Ow. Navigation. Shadow magic engaging is the same thing when it comes to closing paths. And you can open paths from gatings too. I wrote a story with these type of skills back in the day, with all these, like an adventurer who's able to sort of train in these skills and stuff from this game. It was a really fun story. I have no idea where it is now, but it was awesome. Nice training, please and thank you. And then last but not least, there's going to be restoration. So everything else is at 75 or 76. Right, there we have it. So continuing on to get these powers and stuff, we can go back and we go back to the door. You can see what we don't have so far with the store experience section here. So mainly what I think I should do is the Mirkwood quests, because that'll get me 2 powers, 2 Mirkwood quests. They're pretty random, I think. So as for skills, there's 5 skills left. Troll point you learn from a troll quest. I don't know where you get lances. Let's see. Lances, I think, is from a specific. You gotta go to Sun God Isle to get lances. Let's see, horsemanship. And let's just polish off the skills, shall we? If we can. So horsemanship. Get from 4 days outside the hold. Which is also going to Sun God Isle. I can't do that. Right now. So I'm not going to worry about lances but we can just go by horsemanship. Let's move on to law. Law. So I need to go to Bitland Wood anyway. So let's go there. And do that. So that's close to the beginning of the game, so it's just good. Let's travel to Western Tisa. No, that's not right. Southwest Tisa. The Law. To Bitland Wood. Visit Bitland Wood. I guess it's like a random encounter. Turn to previous. You're standing in the base of a high wall of broken ledge. Deep within the western region of Bitland Wood, a narrow, jagged fissure runs along the bottom of the ledge, leads down to a massive cave, a cave that supposedly holds one of Zirigil's iron tablets. A thin but steady stream of grey mist breezes out of the fissure. Taking care not to lose footing on the jagged, slippery rock, you squeeze through the fissure and descend into the cave. Okay, guess we're doing this. At least it gives me a map. A small flash of light suddenly erupts from somewhere in the darkness ahead. Almost instantly the light disappears and you hear sounds like echoes of rapid footfalls swiftly receding along the passage. For the moment the footsteps fade and you find yourself alone, surrounded by eerie silence of the cave. Okay, let's just keep going south. Yes, the same. Okay. North, let's go west. South, west. Same. South, south. East first. South, south. Same, we're hearing footsteps everywhere. East, east, this will be dead end, so north, north, west. As you arrive in the inner tunnel, your eyes widen. There, resting at the base of the cave wall, is an ornate lid flung back in an iron-banded chest. Your elation swiftly turns along when you approach the chest and discover that it's empty. Stepping back from the chest, you suddenly detect that what only could be the pungent lingering odor of a torch someone else was here very recently, perhaps only moments ago. Your thoughts immediately return to the flash of light and footfalls you encounter on the way into the cave. While trying to make sense of the strange, unfortunate turn of issues, suddenly overcome with an eerie feeling. For several long minutes you wait next to the empty chest, your eyes scouring the darkness that illuminates the edge of the light and your ears listening for any sound of movement from nearby. At length, satisfied that whoever was recently here is no longer about, you turn your gaze back to the chest, and a sense of dismay swells up within as you contemplate the normally empty chamber at your feet. The iron tablet, which must have been resting in the chest, is now gone. As you stare down at the box, your dismay swiftly turns to anger, and then just quickly transforms into a calm sense of purpose. Without letting another moment slip by, you turn and stride off along the cave tower and determine to do what you can to find what has happened to the object of your quest. This is not where I was. Oh yeah. Okay, it was. Alright, keep going. North. Yes, we hear the footsteps. I'm gonna go this way this time. More footsteps. North. Yes, I hear them coming. West. North. Yeah, we hear you. Okay, keep going north. Going north. And let's go east now. South. South. West. East. North. East. East. South. 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 East. West. North. West. West. South. West. South. South. West. South. 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 East. East, north, north, north. West, north, north. East, north, east. South, east, west. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. I guess we could just leave. You pause quickly as you spot a green cape figure slinking furtively away from the figure. Upon catching sight of you, the figure head whipping your direction, revealing a slender, terror-stricken face of a young man. I'm afraid you startled me, he stammers, endeavoring to conceal something beneath his cape. I don't normally stroll this far into the woods, but it only takes a quick glimpse of the bundle beneath the young man's cape. You must realize he took to hand the very item you came to acquire. Zirigul's iron tablet. Immediately suspicious of the scenario now follow you, man the man tell you what he was doing with the tablet and how he came to know of his existence. His face grows ashen and for a moment he seems lost for words. I'm an adventurer like you, he stammers, removes the tablet from beneath his cape, holding it against his midsection. The weighty iron slab glistens in the sunlight. Without waiting for you to respond, the young man reaches up and clutches the circular stone amulet dangling from it. Don't even think of trying to take this from me, he says, his tone suddenly bolder. I'll disappear with this tablet before you can blink. If you want it, I'll sell it to you. One of you, don't try anything, man. Try anything. The man, obviously noticing your presence, telling you that he will sell you the tablet for 1,000 gold donation. But he's lying about his ability to disappear. Okay, what's the diplomacy? Using your diplomatic skills, you calmly but suddenly inform the Cape man that his best and only recourse is to hand over the iron tablet. Shriveling slightly beneath your withering gaze, it takes him only a split second to reach his decision. After... what is this for? Okay. After placing the tablet safely in amongst your other belongings, you begin to turn your attention to the man who you ask him how he knew about the cave and what he intended to do with the iron tablet. Only to be quiet, taken back. He tells you that he overheard your conversation with Taka Khan on the Griffin's Ledge. He then tells you that he sought out the location of Bentley Wood described to you by Takana and decided to try and find the iron tablet and hope that it might be worth some gold. Fortunately, he found the cave empty and the tablet resting in an unlocked chest. You pressing for his name, he becomes obviously as part of his... In response, he stammers something incoherent and suddenly turns and bolts into the forest, disappearing after only a few moments. In less than a minute, even the sound of his rapid footsteps have faded into silence. Certain that he's gone, and the iron tablet now in possession, you quickly check over your equipment before setting off to make your way out of the woods. Okay, explore. Cave exploring. Okay. In the midst of a tangled patch of bramble, you come across an ancient moss-covered fountain, the ornate monument. You estimate must be at least 1,000 years old, sits somewhere on a slant poking up through the thick, massive thorny vines that reach up from the forest floor to claw at its sides. You step up to the edge of the fountain, carefully parting a wall of thorns and stare down its sizable and empty base with no visible source of water nearby. You wonder how this fountain was once fed. You continue to glance at the fountain as you head. Okay. Is this where we're supposed to... Gonna put the tablet here? Okay, no. I don't know what goes here. Okay, keep exploring. The Catamarac Statue. Near the center of the bed of white ferns and an area of thick and tangled undergrowth, you discover a toppled, half-buried statue protruding from a leaf-covered forest floor. I'm trying to get lore. I'm supposed to be helping someone in these woods. Who will give me lore. Oh, and scavenger. Okay. Barback beetle. We're trying to kill everybody in here. Like you're a demon, I can't break down. It's like I'm struck. It's like I run from you all the time. And I know these voices in my head are mine alone. And I know if I don't give you up now, like I can breathe, like I can see anything. Are we done? Are we done? No. Okay. Small handful of enemies remain. Okay, so keep going. Barback beetles. Okay, separate remains. Still small amounts. Hooked on you, I need a can't say just one more hit, I promise. I can do it, I'll handle it. Quit it just one more time, man, that's it. Okay, it's 3 of these fellows. Okay. We estimate that no enemies remain. Note. Make a thorough search. Okay. Some stuff for which to sell. Which means I need to go somewhere to sell them. Nice. Okay, we should be north. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And out. 24% encumbered. Alright, explore. Explore. I'm looking for a dormo. Blackstripe there. It's gonna be good eating. I'm not editing this episode till I get it, so. And I'll have to stop recording for this section, or stop recording these for this section. So you'll see me in different clothes next video. I don't want to stop playing, but I have other stuff I have to record, unfortunately. Other business things to work on. Come on, don't fail me. I didn't mean to flee. I meant to kill. Oh, where's my health? Whew. Combat. Quick combat. Combat. Scavengers. I think they used to limit you to 30 times a day that you could explore. I don't think I have a limit anymore. While passing through a more open section of the forest, you happen upon a rather cheery woodsman making his way west along a well-used trail. He hails you as a friendly wave, and you spend a small while in conversation with him. The grey-bearded woodsman who introduces you as Gromit tells you he frequently hunts in the forest. He also warns you there's danger to be found here. I've had more than my fair share of goblin trouble in here of late, he said, sighing. I can't handle myself with a few runts, but I found wandering about. But I fear it's only getting worse. I can only say to you, watch your step, and I wouldn't recommend spending the night under these trees, and you'd better watch out for stick legs too. I've seen more and more of those too, on a sight that warms the heart. As at length you prepare to take your leave of Gromit, but before you do, the grey-bearded woodsman tells you that he has something to show you. Have a look at this, will you? He said, producing a small, perfectly round blue stone from his pocket. Found this just this morning, back just away on that very trail. I've never seen a stone like this. The stone is indeed remarkable, and when you ask him if you can see it, you smash when he tells you you can have it. I have no use for such things. He laughed, tossing the brown blue stone. It's a lucky stone, its luck now is yours. You thank Gromit. The stone he smiles again and reminds you to take care as you make your way through the forest. At last you bid him farewell, and the two of you set off in the opposite directions to the woods. Yay, here it is. A series of loud drawn bellows reaches your ears as you make your way through the dense section of the northern part of the forest. As you step around two towering shoulders of rock, your eyes fall upon a gruesome battle being waged on the wooded slope just ahead. An ancient and perhaps somewhat feeble Dormu bellows with rage as it attempts to defend itself against a small horde of vicious sticklegs. What are sticklegs? We have to see. Long thought to be a creature of myth, the legendary stickleg has been spotted with increasing frequency in the wilds of the northern broadlands. Legs and arms of these two strange two-legged woodland beings resemble long, thin sticks, though they are not actually made of wood. The thin, spiny exoskeleton covers of soft flesh resemble the bark of a stick. Sticklegs have a broad shell torso that matches their arms and legs. The head of these creatures have black, fly-like eyes that protrude to the top of their nearly flat skulls, and thick shell, much like that which covers the torso, to protect the heads. Intelligence of these beings has never been determined, often operating large bands that have been known to attack trolls and ogres, overpowering such size of foes with sheer number. Sticklegs attack using sharpening tips of their three-fingered hands. In the woodland settings, these beings move in near total silence and use this as an advantage when they're stuck in the prey. They make no audible sounds and somehow speculate they can communicate telepathically. We can go with archery. What? I'm a grandmaster at archery and you want to miss? Fine, be like that. It was 97%. How rude. Okay, combat. 4 of 7. 5 of 7. 6 of 7. And 7 of 7. A loud hiss escapes from the punctured shell of the hideous stickleg as a strange creature topples to the ground at your feet. You step back for the corpse of your slain foe and wipe away the steady stream of sweat now pouring down your brow. the shattered remains of the seven stick legs lay strewn about the forest floor at your feet, and a nauseating odor rises in the air from the remains of the strange creatures, and it's all you can do to keep from retching. How come everything in here has a nauseating odor? After taking a few moments to make sure that no more of these foul creatures are looking back, you turn your attention to the massive dormant. What's a dormant? An ancient race of tree beings not commonly seen in Sryth for many centuries. These dormant remain a shy, reclusive creatures who seek secluded shelter places in which they might avoid contact with the world, which they no longer feel they belong. Dormu are most akin to large hardwoods, and if the eyes and mouths were close, it's nearly impossible to tell them apart from these trees. Dormu, it's a tree, can move if required, but they usually choose to sink their roots deep in the ground and remain in the same place for years. If angered and threatened, Dormu will attack and prove a fierce and deadly foe, but these beings would prefer to stay hidden, content to allow the troubles of the wider world pass them by. Who nearly fell victim to the savagery of vicious fiends. New closest, the ancient dormant note with great sadness that the mighty creature has suffered several severe wounds in the battle. Grunts as he's looking up and attempts to focus on the round back over you. Thank you, my dear friend, rumbles the low voice of a living tree. I, Tobik, the lord of this wood, humbly thank you. Dormant is very weak. You may see that many of the gashes and the gouges and Maya's rugged exterior have already begun to mend themselves. Step closer. Step closer to me, human. I'll trust him. You cautiously step closer to Torbek, but still somewhat uncertain what the ancient dormant wants. Suddenly, the mighty tree creature reaches out and takes hold of you with his long, powerful limbs. As the dormant's might grip tightens around you, a strange sensation begins coursing through your body, causing your vision to blur and your thoughts become jumbled. You know the tips of Torbek's wooden fingers are glowing bright white. I've acquired the skill of law. And as a strange sensation comes through your body subsides, your vision clears and you stagger to your feet and rest the ancient dormant broad trunk. Torbek, whose deep, gentle gaze has been fixed on the forest from the better part of his closed eyes and appears to drift off to sleep. You issue the mighty dormant a silent farewell before turning and once again setting off on your way through the woods. Yay! Call off my exploration, yes, please and thank you. Travel, let's go to Hawklaw. And then now we're in a rested area, we can save and we can go to the windowless building, get my pointage for law. So what I'm going to do after doing this is next time we're going to figure out how to join the Grey Circle and get the other powers. And we're going to do the Merc quest, which gets me 2 powers. So I think the Merc quest first gets me 2 powers, and then we'll do figure out how to join the Grey Circle, which will get us the rest of the powers. And then we'll work on a quest to get us the other powers until we are ready to start. So, skills. What does Lord do? Now we know lore is the information about a world. What does it do in this game? Like, what is lore used for? This is my last episode, which is probably why this is so long. Check something else real quick, sorry. Not much left. 85 it is. Here we go. So no, don't seek strange hums, okay? Alright, well that's gonna be it for this episode. Until next time, thank you so much for hanging out with me, reading with me, doing this cool game that is Sryth the Fantasy Text RPG. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Peace.